Welcome to Instructor Guidance Week 5. This week's discussion board will deal with material found in the Week 5 tab. You will need to review the document Behavioral Interview Techniques and Questions, STAR. You can access the document by clicking on the picture of the three interview candidates. I have also included a STAR interview template to assist you in answering the questions. I suggest you review the discussion board questions, template, and review the grading rubric before you read the document and begin the discussion board. Using the information from the document and the video, Interview Techniques, STAR method, you will need to respond to two questions. Your original post must be 100 words in length, and you must write an original response before you can view the other student's post. The original post is due on Wednesday of the week. The two questions in the discussion board are: 1. Select one of the behavioral interview questions that's found in the document Behavioral Interview Techniques and answer it using the STAR technique. Question 2. Give an example of a question asked of you in a job interview, but don't use the same question as you used in question 1. And how did you answer it? How would you answer it differently using the STAR technique? If you have not been to a job interview, select another question from the sample behavior interview questions and answer it using the STAR technique. Note, do not use the same question answered in question 1 to answer question 2. Double dipping is not allowed. If you use the same question twice, then you will receive 0 points for this answer. Keep in mind the following when answering the questions. I want specific answers that deal with you personally. I have had students tell me that they would answer the question by using the STAR technique. They would describe the situation, state the task, perform an action, and give a result. This is not the same as discussing the specifics. So if I were going to describe the situation, I would say something like, I was a server at Chili's and we were short-handed on the dinner shift. The manager became ill, etc., etc., etc. Don't tell me, I will describe the situation. Next, if you have not been involved in a behavioral interview, simply select another question from the list and answer it using the STAR technique and applying it specifically to you. If you have been involved in a behavioral interview and didn't answer the question using the STAR technique, then tell me how you did answer it, and then how you would answer it differently using the STAR technique. Again, be specific to you. Lastly, don't assume I know what you're talking about. Give me a complete answer, assuming I do not know who you are or where you've worked, gone to school, etc. This makes you set up the answer in very understandable terms. For instance, in our example above, if you stated, we were swamped at work and the manager became ill, etc., this doesn't give me any idea of whether you work in food, retail, medical, at school, etc. Be specific without rambling. You should be familiar with how to post a discussion board and how to respond to classmates from last week's discussion board. All statements and comments must be supported by the document or the video. I will not require you to show references from the text, document, or video, but the support is required to come from those sources. Please keep in mind the following. The original post needs to answer the questions thoroughly. This means that your answers must be directly supported. This means that if you make a statement, then it must have written support. It is not understood that your statements are correct without support. The original post is worth up to 20 points. You will notice that the responses to classmates are worth up to 20 points also. This means that the responses to classmates are to be as thorough as the original responses and supported. Again, it is not assumed that your statements are understood without written support. I agree or good post or such will be worth 0 points. As always, you must write an original response before you see your classmates' post. As always, you must write an original response before you see your classmates' post. The original post is due on Wednesday of the week, and the minimum 2 responses to classmates are due on Sunday of the week. The second quiz will cover chapters 11 and 12. There are study guides included in the weekly tab to assist you. If you have any questions, contact me early in the week at myers-d@mssu.edu.